So, hello, everyone, and welcome to our emotional intelligence and career transition session. Myself, Denise Farquharson, with my dear friend, Dr. Tara Hines McCoy, and we are going to go through another set of tips and strategies for you to use for your career transition. And so, using emotional intelligence to do this is really key. Title for today, then, is Your Quest for EQ Gold. And the subline for that is actually, it's going to be your treasure map for a successful transition. And I said to Tara earlier, actually, I'm going to turn that around because to successfully transition your career, it's as if you will be able to somehow find treasure. And with that, it means a new joy, a new meaning to your life, a new set of values, a new set of living in a different way. Because guess what? When you get a new career, it brings a level of joy and happiness. And it's like a quest where if you are looking at a map, those old treasure maps, sometimes you have to go over a few things, around a few things, under a few things, in order to absolutely get that gold. A reminder, your career over time, for most people, has actually been pots of gold along the way. And you've delivered, you've excelled, you've moved on, you've been promoted, you've gained more income, you've created new friends, new skills, new knowledge. But now's the time where you are currently looking, and in order to look and then do it well and be successful at it, it's going to take some tips and strategies, which we're going to share with you today. So, Tara, over to you, first of all, then, just to give us some insights into your thoughts on this.
Yeah, and that was such a great introduction. I wrote down for just a moment. It reminded me how, we have different things that happen in different seasons, but also they're seasonal treasures. And which means that we are, whether that's a promotion, whether that's a new job, whether that's, a new baby, different things happen in our personal and career lives that are seasonal treasures. And so I think that that's also just a great way to think of it. And as we think about, the how quest for EQ, but then the treasure map. And so that treasure map is really the plan that you have in mind. Although you may not have implemented that plan, the fact that you have a plan in your mind that you really can transition to paper and then to put it in motion. And one of the things that I know that I talk with my clients about all the time is we take for granted those relationships that we've built over time in our careers, whether that's 3 years, 5 years, 8, 10, or 12. We've built relationships in the work that we do, and that's not just in the building and the four walls in which we work. That's also outside clients or external clients that we've worked with. And so many times, I think that we underestimate the role that emotional intelligence plays in forming those meaningful connections. But it also plays a really pivotal role in how we network going forward, but in how we also foster new or build new relationships going forward in our new work environments and establishing those new clients and just meeting people in general. And so that's where I would start is that understanding that emotional intelligence plays such a critical role in how we form those connections, how we build those relationships as we are transitioning in our career. But it's really important that we leverage the approach that we've taken in the past to build those relationships. The other
Mm,
thing that comes to mind also is about resilience, because resilience is one of those things that for me, I never really used to describe myself. And it's not until others mention that or they use that word to describe you or the work that you've done or how you've overcome things as resilient that it really sits in. And resilience, and correct me if I'm wrong, Denise, is a key component of emotional intelligence. But I also think that it's a key component in career transition, and that it's really important that we leverage resilience to overcome the challenges that we are going to face when we are in a career transition. Because the reality is we're going to meet some obstacles. We're going to have some stumbling blocks. There are going to be some pitfalls in that transition, and it's really how we approach those challenges, how we overcome those challenges, and how we move after those challenges that really sets us up for the opportunity that awaits us. And the last thing that I would say that's truly important is how we navigate in that space, and understanding that emotional intelligence really, there's some specific areas that it really contributes to the success of our career transition. And two of those that come to mind are how we adapt, being able to adapt to that new work environment, that new group, that new team, how we interact with those clients, being able to really understand the culture, the workplace, the sensitivity of the organization, what are their values, what are their norms, but being able to adapt to those is really important. And then also understanding how we regulate our own. So during a transition, whether that's you as the leader, you as the employee, being able to stay composed during those challenging times is really important. And so, thinking about how I am intentional about how I'm going to respond, how I'm going to initiate conversations, how I will present myself in this new space, it is really important. So those are the three really top things that come to mind for me. And that's, being able to leverage how I built relationships in the past going forward, understanding the role of resilience, but then also how I'm going to adapt or leverage emotional intelligence going forward.
Yeah, some really great points there, and great for our listeners who are listening to this on the replay, because when we talk about a successful transition, you don't want a failed transition. If you're going to make the step, feel the fear and do it anyway, step out and go
Yes.
for it, you want it to be successful. And so I noted down a couple of things in terms of what type of emotional intelligence state should I be in to have this successful transition. And one of the things I thought about was how we network. You want to have a successful network, and you alluded to it earlier as well. You don't want a failed networking approach or plan. You want it to be successful such that when you go, or when you are involved in, or when you are with a group of people and networking with others, you want it to be successful so that you leave with notes, with telephone numbers, with contacts, with
Mhm.
great aha moments of, I never thought about that. But you leave with feeling that and sensing that and knowing that.
Yeah.
Another one would be about actually how to build good relationship skills so that you engage well along the journey, because
Mhm.
don't do this by yourself. You've got to
Oh,
do this with a group of really good
yes.
people around you. And therefore, if you're going to do that, then you have to engage with people who you may not like so much. Some who are more directive, non-directive, some who are
Mhm.
more intuitive, some who are more outgoing or introverted. But you've got to adapt, as Tara said, to the different types of behaviors you're going to be coming across, because ultimately, most people who are involved with your transition journey will want the best thing for you. And
Yes.
therefore, you engaging with them effectively is going to be really, really crucial as well. So that's networking, that's engaging really well. And my other one that I thought of as well, actually, Tara, was about actually having that optimism around having clear goals and clear intentions about what that transition should look like and be like and feel like is going to be part of your journey as well. It's an absolute strategy. It's an overarching strategy. You need a
Yes.
strategy. And if you think back to our title, Quest for EQ Gold, to get that gold, then you're going to have a strategy to navigate the communications, the relationships, the mentoring, the networking, etc. And so I'm really, really quite I'm very confident that if you are looking to transition your career, then if you are listening to this, these are some absolutely vital tips and strategies for you to take away, use. Absolutely, Tara, get in touch with you. How and what you do is going to be really helpful for our listeners. Just give us a little snippet of that, Tara.
Yes, and as you think about it, as we've talked about resilience today, that's really what stands out for me when I think about the work that I do with my clients. I help bring a unique journey of resilience and empowerment as a career and life strategist. I focus on empowering women to take actionable steps. And ignite their careers, and whether that's to go up in the organization or out to a new opportunity, or across. It's about putting together the right plan for the right time for you to make that move. And you can connect with me across all social media platforms at I am Dr. Tara, or take a look at drtaraspeaks.com.
Fantastic. And I'm sure people will be in touch. And myself, Denise, at denisesparkelson.com. We're on LinkedIn. You can subscribe to our YouTube links as well and follow us and comment. But if there's any questions from what we've described today, then please do reach out to us. But we are looking forward to seeing your transition being successful. So thanks for listening. Take care, Tara.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.